तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं राक्षसान्तकम् अंजनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाक्षनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लंका भयङ्करम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मज पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। Hare Krishna. So welcome back for another session in Balakanda. We finished chapter 44. So we'll start from chapter 45 and go up to chapter 50 today. All right. One of the stories that Vishwamitra narrates, I'm going to zip through it only because it's there in the Bhagavatam and you want all the details. Then you can refer to Canto 8. Is the churning of the milk ocean. Okay. So why the churning of the milk ocean story is narrated starts today. So when Vishwamitra, leading Ramachandra and Lakshmana, are walking, they cross the Ganges and all of that. They come to a very beautiful hermitage again. And every time they come to a beautiful place, Lord Ramachandra wants to know the story of the place, so he requests Vishwamitra. So he asks Vishwamitra, what is this beautiful place? Who's the person who this place belongs to? So Vishwamitra says, this place is called Vishala. And this was ruled by the king Vishala, so it was named after him. Like Jaipur was named after King Raja Jai Singh. So to narrate the story of Vishala, he goes back all the way in history and narrates the story of the churning of the milk ocean. So I'm not going to narrate that whole story because it is one of my favorite stories in the whole of Bhagavatam. The details are just fascinating. It would take at least 2 hours to go through the churning of milk ocean. Okay. So all we know is that the demigods headed by Indra had lost all their strength because of Indra being cursed by Durvas Muni. So what happened is Durvas Muni had gone to Vaikuntha and he got a very special garland. That was Mahaprasad garland from the Lord. And when he came to the heavenly realm, he saw Indra on his Airavata. He thought it would be nice because we share garland as Mahaprasad. He offered Indra that garland. And Indra, who was sitting on his big Airavata, instead of getting down and respectfully taking the garland, gave it to Airavata. Now, Airavata, being an elephant, trampled the garland and sort of walked along. So Durvas Muni was upset that the Supreme Lord's Mahaprasad was not respected properly. And so Indra and all the demigods, they lost all their power. And as soon as they lost all their power, on the other side, Bali Maharaj and his party, the Asuras, they wanted to attack and take away Amravati. So there is always this two parties that are competing, right, for the power to control the universe. So then when the demigods went to the Supreme Personality and said, oh, we're in severe distress, we're feeling very weak, he said, okay, for you to feel nourished, why don't you churn the milk ocean? From that churning, nectar will come. And the only way it can be churned is if the demons or the Asuras also participate and cooperate with you. So why don't we tell them that, hey, churn the milk ocean, and whatever Amrita comes, both will get. So the demon said, hey, great. Okay. And then there's a whole, Vasuki was invited, they needed the Mandara mountain. We know the story. Anyway, so when they were churning the ocean, there was the mountain, along with Vasuki, had no pivot below. So then they prayed to the Supreme Lord, and he appeared as the Kurma avatar and held that whole Mandara mountain on his back. There are other details of this. But as soon as you put the mountain on Kurma's back and your Vasuki as the rope, the mountain was tilting and falling. So again, the Supreme Lord had to come in the form of Ajita, and he was holding the mountain in the top so it doesn't fall. And then they were churning the ocean, and then there's a whole series. 14 entities come out of that churning. So Vishwamitra is narrating that the first entity that comes out is this horrible poison called Hala-Hala. Okay. In Ramayana, the version is it came out from Vasuki. The Bhagavatam version is it came from the churning of the ocean. So after the churning, and the first product is this Hala-Hala poison. So then they don't know what to do with the poison. Just by the fumes of it, everyone's dying and falling unconscious. So the Supreme Lord says, please go to Lord Shiva and ask him to accept it. And in the Ramayana, it is said that Lord Vishnu tells Lord Shiva, the first offering from any yajna should go to you. So the first thing that has come is this poison. So you're the rightful receiver of it. Please take it and protect all the demigods. In the Bhagavatam, the detail is Lord Shiva asks Uma Devi's permission. Can I drink that poison? Bhavani says, sure. Only then he does something risky. So when Lord Shiva drinks the poison, he holds it here. And that is how he gets the name Nilakantha or Shitikantha. So then they churned the ocean, then Airavata came, Uchchaishrava came, and all these examples are there in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, among elephants I am Airavata, among horses I am Uchchaishrava. When they churned, other herbs came, Lakshmi Devi came, and then she went and put the garland around Lord Vishnu's neck. And then finally Amrita came. And Amrita came from in the hands of Dhanavantri. And as soon as he got the pot out, the demons rushed and stole the pot out of his hand. And now the demigods were very concerned. Oh, after all this effort, they have Amrita. We wanted to kill them or hurt them. They have taken away the Amrita. So to get the Amrita back from the Asuras, the Supreme Lord appeared as Mohini Murti. And the word Mohini means enchanting like anything. He was so enchanting that the demigods and demons were drooling just by looking at her. So in a smiling way, she walks up to them, and then they tell her, oh, you distribute. This is already nectar coming from your hands. It will be even more nectar. She said, sure. And she kept her eyes fixed on them, and they were so charmed and enamored that she walked towards the demigods and started pouring the nectar to the demigods. And the demons were like, our turn will also come. Look at her, she's looking at me. She's looking at me. No, she's looking at me. They're arguing with each other. So that's how Mohini tricks them. So then when Mohini tricks, then the Asuras or the demigods, they become very strong, and in battle they completely crush all of the Asuras. So the mother of the Asuras is Diti, and the mother of the Suras is Aditi. They're sisters, but among sisters, They compare their sons, my son did this, your son did that. So Diti felt very pained. And she wanted to have a son who will kill Indra. So she went to her husband, Kashyapa Muni, who's also the husband for Aditi. And she said, please, 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 somehow bless me that I will have a son who will be powerful enough to kill Indra. So Kashyapa Muni said, see, the very desire you have is not a good one because it is competitive in nature. It's Rajaguna. And nothing good comes out of Rajaguna. But since you have such a strong desire and I'm supposed to fulfill those desires, here's an idea. Why don't you purify yourself by performing tapasya for 1,000 years? And the intent was from Kashyapa Muni's side that after 1,000 years of austerity, her heart will become clean. She will not want such a desire anymore. So he touched her stomach and said, your son, whoever will be born, will be a very, very famous personality. So she was all like, yeah. And she was determined. So she went to a particular place and she performed this austerity. And as soon as she started this austerity, Indra came to know that if she succeeds, then someone who's going to be born will kill me. Okay? So Indra comes to that place to serve his aunt. And in a very, very humble, menial way, Indra serves Diti. Every day he'll bring water for her. He will do this and that for her, massage her feet, take care of her in a very, very humble, menial way. Parallelly, what Indra is looking for is that if Diti makes any mistake in her vrata, then he has every chance to punish her so that that son is not born. But in this 1,000-year vrata, 990 years pass and Diti has not made one mistake. And when we say one mistake in the vrata, she is given about 190 or some list of things she should do and should not do. You should get up at this time. You should take a cold bath like this. You should eat only this. You cannot eat that. You cannot drink this. There's a whole long list. And Karma Kanda is like that, very, very specific, long list of do's and do nots. And even if you make one mistake, all that effort is wasted. So for 990 years, Diti did not make any mistakes. And Indra patiently was waiting and serving her. Meanwhile, Indra is also like, wow, this is such a dedicated lady. And Diti is also such a dedicated son. So finally, after 990 years, Diti tells Indra, I wanted to have such and such son, but I also feel better. So let's do one thing. Whatever son I have, you make him someone that you also give him a portfolio, give him something to do in the universe to help. Okay? Indra says, okay, no problem. In the last 10 years, one day, Diti takes a bath and the sun is at the zenith, it's 12 noon, the sun is blazing. She takes a bath, she comes back, but she's tired, right? After so many years of doing that, she's so tired that day she decides to take a nap. Okay? And while she's taking a nap, on the place where she lies down, usually one side is the pillow, the other side is where you keep your feet. She reverses the position. And where the feet should go, her head goes. And where the head should go, her feet go. And she lies and she unlocks her hair. Of course, she had, I guess, long hair. And she lies in such a position that her feet touch her hair. So Indra says, there you go. Gotcha. That's a mistake. So here is the mistake in the vrata. That one should not sleep at noon. Okay, this afternoon nap thing is not proper apparently. So that's one mistake. Second, our head should not be where the feet should be. So one day on this side the pillow, other day that side pillow, not okay. Okay. And third, apparently for a woman, her feet should not touch her hair. Thankfully, in my household, unless she does yoga or something. But anyway, it should not touch. So when these three technicalities were violated, Indra entered her womb. And with his thunderbolt, he chopped her embryo into 7 pieces. Because she made a mistake. Well, so while she was sleeping and Indra was chopping her embryo into 7 pieces, that embryo started crying, actually. So Indra was telling the embryo, don't cry, don't cry. So in Sanskrit it's called Ma Ruda, don't cry. Ma Ruda, Ma Ruda. And Diti woke up because she felt something's not right. And then she prayed to Indra, please, please, don't. So Indra came and he said, I'm very sorry. Because you made a mistake, I have no other option but to, I guess, punish you for it. So Diti said, you're right, I made a mistake. So I can't hold you responsible because I was just too tired. And Indra said, I am also very sorry for what I have done. So the way they reconciled is, she said, all right, these 7 embryos that you're there, because there are 7 children, you engage them in some nice service for you, in taking care of the universe that you take care. He said, yes, I do not have any feeling of threat now anymore since you said it and we've said sorry to each other. These 7, I will take care. And they will be called the Maruts or the Maruda. Maruda, don't cry. They got the name Maruts. So Vayu is one of the Maruts, 7 of them. That's why one of the names of Hanuman is Maruti, as a descendant of Marut. So, some sessions ago, we had discussed that these winds, they manage the universe. Remember? So here are the names of those 7 Maruts. They are called Avaha, Pravaha, Samavaha, Udvaha, Vivaha, Parivaha, and Paravaha. Okay. And the great sages gave these names, and they're called these names because they do different things. So the Avahas, they cause all the clouds, meteors, rain, lightning is caused by them, by Avaha. The Pravaha turns the disk of the sun. Okay. The Samavaha turns the orbit of the moon. So Pravaha puts the sun in orbit, Samavaha puts the moon in orbit. The Udvaha moves all the stars. The Vivaha moves all the other planets. Pravaha causes the entire 7 stages, the Great Dipper. The Big Dipper is called the 7 sages residences, and the entire Milky Way, because Akasha Ganga, that whole Milky Way galaxy is moved by those winds. And the wind called Paravaha moves the region of Dhruvaloka. Okay, so they are called the Maruts. So after that, Vishwamitra says that King Vishala, right, this place became famous or became very special because this is the place where Diti performed this tapasya for 1,000 years. And over time, this place was ruled over by the king Vishala, so it got its name as Vishala. And then he narrates the progeny of Vishala, that Vishala's son was Hemachandra, whose son was Suchandra, whose son was Dhumrashva, then Surunjaya, Sahadeva, Kushashva, Somadatta, Kakutstha, and the last king, Sumati. And he says Sumati is the king right now, and we are in his province. Early King Sumati comes to know that Vishwamitra is here. So he comes running, offers his obeisances to Vishwamitra, and he inquires, who are these two boys? So I don't have the verse with me now because I didn't want to walk you through the meaning of the verse right now. It will take half an hour at least, but I'll try and send you the verses. That verses are a description of the form of Rama Lakshmana. Okay, so they're considered a prayer. So if you ever want to remember Rama and Lakshmana, you recite those 3 or 4 verses. How they are standing, how their arms are shaped, how their eyes are shaped, how their bow and arrows are, who they are. Very beautiful verses. In fact, the same verse, very similar, is repeated again in Mithila by Janaka Maharaj. So when it is repeated twice, we know that they are considered mantras. They're very powerful. Like when we come in front of Kishore Kishori, we say Venum Konantam Maravinda Dalayaksham. It's a description of Kishora's form. Similarly, those mantras are description of Rama and Lakshmana. I'll send it to you guys. So once they've crossed, they've accepted King Sumati's hospitality. I moved fast through this, now I'm going to slow down. They've walked and now they've come to the outskirts of Mithila. Beautiful Mithila country that is ruled over by King Janaka. The interesting thing is, we are not going to see Sita Devi anytime soon. Okay, they're just at the outskirts of Mithila. Everything is very beautiful. So as they're walking, they come to a particular place which everything around looks beautiful except this one place looks sort of abandoned. So Lord Ramachandra was curious, how in such a beautiful area there is this abandoned spot. So he asks, Idam ashramam sankasham kim no idvidam munivarjitam. All the sages have left. Why? In this ashram. Shrotum ichhami Bhagavan. I want to hear from you, Vishwamitra. Kasyasya purvam ashram. Whose ashram was this previously? Okay. Why is this place abandoned? So then Vishwamitra narrates the story of Ahalya Devi and Gautama Rishi. So first I'll narrate the story, but I'll narrate it with a warning or a disclaimer. As we hear the story, let's try and not get judgmental about Ahalya. Okay? Because in this case, Ahalya sort of made a mistake. Not sort of, made a mistake. But we'll see how she's still considered in the entire universe one of the most pious and chaste women. Okay? So that's the disclaimer. Let's not judge. Who are we? I'll tell you the story first and then sort of the back details. So Gautama Rishi and Ahalya were living in this area for many, many, many years. But Ahalya was so beautiful that there was no woman in the entire universe as beautiful as she. And the reason she was so beautiful is when Mohini avatar manifested, Lord Brahma considered, I have created all the demigods, the Siddhas, Kinnaras, Charanas, and Apsaras. They're all very, very beautiful and good looking. But it never occurred to me to create a woman that is as beautiful as Mohini. Of course, so nobody can be as Mohini, but somewhere there. So people have an idea of what beauty looks like, real beauty. And so from his mind, he created Ahalya. Okay, so the word Hala means contamination, and Ahalya means without any blemish. And when she was a very tiny, when she was like a baby, she was given in the care of Gautama Rishi. Okay, and when she grew up, to marriageable age, Gautam Rishi brought her back to Lord Brahma and said she needs to be married. So please think of who will be a suitable husband for her. So Lord Brahma said, well, we'll do a Swayamvara, and whoever wins this competition, she can be married to. Indra was definitely a top contender. He wanted to marry Ahalya because she was so beautiful. So then the competition was, whoever can go around the universe 16 times quickly and come back first. So this is the Grand Prix, Formula One racing Grand Prix racetrack. They told him whoever comes back first will be a suitable husband for Ahalya. Indra got on his Airavata and went away immediately. Zoom. No thinking, nothing. Gautam Rishi was standing there only. So Brahma said to Gautam Rishi, you don't want to? He said, I'll go. Aram se. So Brahma was interested. Indra's already gone. For you to, it'll take you time. He said, I'll go. So after some time, Gautam Rishi walked up to the sacred cow. She's called Kamadhenu, the category of cow, and circumambulated the cow 16 times. And Brahma was just charmed by it. Why? Because cow is supposed to be the residence of all the demigods, of all the holy rivers, of all the mountains. The entire universe resides in the cow. That's our Vedic understanding, right? So Gautam Rishi just circumambulated the cow. Indra was going around the universe. So by the time Indra came, Lord Brahma said, Ahalya is going to be married to Gautama. Indra said, whoa, he didn't even go anywhere. So Lord Brahma described, no, he circumambulated the cow. So Indra said, that I could have also done. So Lord Brahma said, yes, but you didn't do it. The reason you didn't do it, this is the backstory of it, the reason you didn't do it is as soon as you heard the name of Ahalya, lust took over you such. What does lust do? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is the first thing it covers? Jnana. Lust covers your knowledge, right? And that lust was so intense, it covered your knowledge and you went round the universe. But look at Gautam Rishi. He is not lusty. His jnana is perfect. So he went and circumambulated the cow. Now it is said that in another commentary, it is said that even Ahalya had some liking for Indra because Indra is not an ugly fellow. He is very handsome. But no one asked Ahalya, what is your desire? Okay, that is where there is a little technical flaw, if you will. So Ahalya was married to Gautama Rishi and they very happily, chastely lived there. But Indra always had an eye on Ahalya. So one day, early in the morning, at Brahma Muhurta time, when the alarm rang, and what was the alarm ringing at that time? The rooster would So Indra came in the form of a rooster and rang the alarm. So Gautam Rishi got up, went to the river to take a bath. So then Indra disguised himself as Gautam Rishi, okay, and walked into the hermitage. And he looked at Ahalya and he said, my dream of being with you is now fulfilled. This is the perfect time for union with you. Many accounts say that Ahalya got cheated. Ahalya was not cheated. She knew this is Indra. Why? Because Gautam Rishi would never invite her for union at such an odd time of day and odd time of month. So she knew this is Indra. But somewhere some deep fantasy was there, I guess. So she allowed. And when the act was done, Ahalya got a little scared and she told him, please leave quickly because the river is not too far. Gautama Rishi will be back anytime soon. So Indra, when he was walking out of the hermitage, disguised as Gautama Rishi is walking back at the door. He's already there. He looks at Indra. He looks at Ahalya, and he knows what happened. And immediately curses Indra. Indra, you lusty fellow. You're always looking to pollute. I curse you that from now on you will not be able to perform such acts, because I curse you that your genitals will fall right now. And unfortunately, boom, gone. Indra's genitals fell down. And he was very embarrassed. And then he looked at Ahalya and he said, Tatha Shaptva cha Vai Shakram. So after cursing Indra, Bharyam Apicha Shaptavan. He cursed his wife also. And he says, Iha Varsha Sahasrani Bahuni Nivasyasi. You will live here for many thousands of years. Varsha Sahasrani Bahuni. Okay? And what will you do? Vayu Bhaksha. You will only be eating air. Nirahara. You won't eat anything else. Tapyanti. You will be performing austerity, or another way, tapyanti means burning in regret. Bhasmashayini. You will be here as if you are dust. Okay? Adrushya sarva bhutanam. Nobody can see you. You will be invisible to everybody. You can see everyone. Nobody can see you. Okay? Ashrame asmin nivatsyasi. You will be here. So some accounts say she was turned into a stone. Right? So our acharyas, especially Govindaraja, says that it may be from a previous day of Brahma where she was cursed to be a stone. But in this narrative that Valmiki is saying, she was told, Adrushya sarva bhutanam, you'll become invisible. Now imagine, okay, even among friends, if someone doesn't say Haribol to you, how you feel? Oh, they neglected me. I'm in the room. They said Haribol to everyone, did not say to me. Nobody can see her. And she's not dead. She's alive, walking here and there, but nobody can see. But only breathing air, no eating, and burning in the fire of regret for many thousands of years. So when she falls down begging for forgiveness, he tells her, okay, the only time that you will come back to your full glory and I will come back and be with you and accept you back with me is when the wonderful lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra enter this ashram. And he goes away to the Himalayas. Indra goes running to the demigods headed by Agni and others, and he says, all of us as demigods, we do this again and again. That whenever we see a rishi growing in his tapasya and fame, we put obstacles. Because when those rishis become successful, then they will take away our position. Okay? This is office politics. And we always are safeguarding our position. And so what we do is we try to break the tapasya of such a person. Right? So generally we send apsaras. And then they get all disturbed and their credit goes away. Then they have to start all over again. In Gautama's case, these things don't work because previously Indra had sent Urvashi, Tilottama, all of them. Gautama didn't even look at them. Why? Because Ahalya is at home. In fact, even Urvashi and Tilottama went back to Indra and said, sorry, How will he be disturbed by us when someone more beautiful than us? In fact, we are disturbed that she is so beautiful. So he cannot be disturbed like this. So the only way to break Gautama's whole progress was to make him angry. Because when he's angry and he curses, remember, all that credit goes away and he has to start from zero again. So that was the plan, to somehow make Gautama Rishi angry. But what's the damage? Indra gets cursed. And the collateral damage is Ahalya gets cursed. So he says, you demigods, along with the Ashwini Kumaras and the Pitru Devatas, have to do something for me because I don't have genitals anymore. So, and Indra not having that is a problem, right? So they say, okay, we have an idea. And they get a ram, a male goat. And they take the genitals of the male goat and attach them to Indra's. So Indra standing there a little embarrassed. Why? Because forever in history, for what he has done to Ahalya is there as a story. Now, Ahalya's case, while there is definitely transgression, some of the Acharya, another Acharya who in the South Sri Vaishnava tradition has another way of looking at it. Indra was always interested in Ahalya. And to disturb Gautama Rishi, he was always sending these apsaras. So Ahalya doesn't like it. She wants to teach Indra a lesson. So his narration is that when Indra comes dressed as Gautama Rishi, she also sends her shadow to meet Indra. Okay? So that way she is not polluted. Indra has union with her shadow. And by that act, Indra gets cursed. So instead of she cursing, which would not be proper, she makes the situation such that Gautama Rishi will curse Indra as revenge for Indra disturbing Gautama Rishi so many times. So what's the risk of that? There is collateral damage that she gets cursed as well. So in one way he says, because she's chaste woman, she gets cursed to protect her husband. Of course, from Indra's vantage point, Gautama Rishi's credits are all gone anyway. So Gautama Rishi is gone. Indra gets goat's genitals. He's put back on his throne. And that's from that time, apparently, there is a special yajna. In that yajna, they have to offer as offering, or whatever is called, hala, a male goat for Indra. That's the tradition why goats are offered. So Ahalya, in this invisible condition, stayed there for 8 yugas. And in those 8 yugas, she has become purified. Okay? Completely. And Vishwamitra is very happy that Ramachandra asked, what is this place? Why are we here? Please tell me the story. Vishwamitra says, please enter this ashram. It's important for you to enter. As soon as Lord Ramachandra's feet touched that entrance of the ashram, suddenly Ahalya is manifest again. Bright like fire, pure like anything. Because imagine how many years, thousands of years, she has purified herself. And for any of us who may have a doubt whether Ahalya is pure again or not, when Lord Ramachandra sees her, he offers her obeisances and touches her feet. So if Lord Ramachandra can see her like that, we have no right to see her in any less vision or view of her than that. So then she offers Rama and Lakshmana and Vishwamitra excellent hospitality. Because part of the curse was only when you offer hospitality to Rama and Lakshmana, Ramachandra, you will be purified. So there are certain lessons from this pastime. Okay. One lesson is Indra was cursed. but Ahalya was pardoned. Why? Because Indra's lust and Ahalya begged forgiveness. Indra just went away embarrassed. So that's why. Second, Ahalya means one without blemish. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, there is a very famous and important set of verses. And we hear this many times. Apichet suduracharaha. Right? Even if one has done something very, very abominable, what can be more abominable than Ahalya performing adultery with Indra? Right? But Krishna says, Apichet sudurachara. Bhajate mam ananya bhaka. Sadhureva samantavya. I consider them to be sadhu. And he says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Very quickly they become dharmatma. Sashvachanti nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee will never fall. So the question is Kshipram. Kshipram means very quickly. So how is it very quickly that Ahalya was reinstated if she was performing meditation or tapasya for 8 yugas? The Kshipram is not in the 8 yugas. You understand? The 8 yugas is a way for what we call atonement. But the Kshipram is as soon as Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet came and she served, she became originally or reinstated in her original position. That is the Kshipram. That is the power of serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. Now Lord Ramachandra is a very young boy, 12 some years of age. He sees Ahalya as the status of mother and as a chaste lady. So he offers her obeisances, and in fact this forms, the Acharyas say, this forms Lord Ramachandra's conviction to be Eka Patni Vrata. It is Ahalya's pastime. Okay. That's another story. Then another story is that, or another lesson is, in the relationship of husband and wife, the kind of commitment that is required from both sides. Of course, in modern context, we don't want anyone to stay in any abused relationship. That definitely is there. But these are personalities who are setting certain examples. The example that Gautama Rishi is setting is, even if his own wife performed or committed adultery of such a degree, he never abandoned her. He gave her a way to become purified, and he said, we will happily live again. So as soon as she serves Lord Ramachandra, by yogic power, Gautama Rishi comes back to that ashram. And he takes Ahalya with him and happily goes back. Without, you learned your lesson, never do it, nothing. There was no conversation like that ever again. He accepted her as if nothing ever happened. So the kind of strength in that relationship that's there between Gautama Rishi and Ahalya. Okay. Then Kamban in his Ramayana says, when Lord Ramachandra entered the forest of Tataka, we saw the power of his hands because he shot arrows at Tataka. When he entered this ashram, we see the power of his feet. And more than the power of his feet is the power of the dust of his lotus feet. Okay. Another lesson is, Ahalya was contaminated by Rajaguna. Lust is Rajaguna, right? Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava. So that Raja, mode of passion, was counteracted by the Raja from Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet. So anyone ailing with lust or Rajoguna, the only solution is the dust of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, which means Vaishnava Seva also. So Vaishnava Seva is the only method to overcome lust. So the dust in the lotus of Pada Sevanam. So this is how dust counteracts dust. Raja. Now, as I was studying this, I've conducted a few marriages here. Okay. And at the time of Sampradhanam, we call Kanyadanam, the father and a woman in the assembly, the father is giving away the bride, but a woman comes and ties a knot for the garment of the groom and the garment of the bride. They tie a knot with some auspicious items in it. Okay. And while that knot is being tied, this whole set of verses are chanted. At that time, there are 16 divine couples that are remembered. Okay. I'm going to recite that. Not that we are conducting anyone's wedding yet. But in this 16, notice there is one couple that we may have a doubt about. Okay. Tell me which one. Om Sri Lakshmi Pitambarayor Revati Balaramayor Tatha Sita Ramayor Cha Sri Durga Shivayor Yatha Devahuti Kardamayor Yatha Shachi Maghavator Yatha. Maghavat is Indra. Shatarupa Swayambhuvayor Yatha Renuka Jamadagnayor Yatha Ahalya-Gautamayor Devaki Vasudevayor Mandodari Ravayanor Yashoda Nandayor Yatha Shri Draupadi Pandavayoho Shri Taravali Bhujayoho Damayanti Nalakayoho Shri Radha Krishnayor Yatha. So that's 16 couples. Anayoho, just like that. Kanyavareha, the bride and the groom. Tathasyat Granti Bandhanam. May the bond of their marriage be tight like these 16 couples. Okay? Who's the odd man out here? Ravana and Mandodari. I always wondered why Ravana and Mandodari are there. Why Ravana and Mandodari are there? When I studied Ahalya's Gautama story, that gave me a little understanding that these 16 couples cover the entire gamut of what could happen between a husband and wife. They draw the boundaries, the extremes. Okay? Lakshmi Pitambarayor, between Sita and Lord Narayana. What is the boundaries? Unbounded love for each other and service for each other. Revati Balramayor also like that. Sita Ram, no need to say, as we will hear. In Sita Ram's case, the wife was abducted by somebody. Ram did not say, one gone, I can have more wives. Although Kshatriyas can have. How many did Dasarath have? 365 wives. So there is nothing wrong if Rama married some. But no, although his wife, he went all the way searching, went through all austerities to regain his wife back. That's that. But he did not abandon her. In Telugu they say chappal kotko. No. He did not abandon her. We'll narrate the whole story again. Then Durga and Shiva. Sati also went away. Okay. What did Lord Shiva do? He didn't stop her. The whole discussion is there in the 4th canto. Okay. Where her affection for her parents and her family was so intense that Lord Shiva told her, oh, please understand. Still. Okay. He gave a lot of freedom. Devahuti Kardama. She's a princess. He is some skinny, bony Muni. And she lived such an austere life to serve him. And then he gifted her the Supreme Lord as a son. Sachi and Magavata, Indra and his wife. Whatever happens, they're like super couple up there in the heavenly realm. Okay. Shatarupa Swayambhu. They are the ones who bring out progeny after progeny. They populate the entire universe. Renuka, Jamadagni. There's an issue there also. Parshuram's father had ordered Renuka's head to be cut off by Parshuram. And Parshuram begged, please bring my mother back to life. Okay? Eta Ahalya Gautam. Here Ahalya is, we just heard something. Devaki Vasudev, by their austerity, the Supreme Lord was born to them. Mandodari Ravana. Here the excesses and digressions are all breaking of chastity is by Ravana. But Mandodari stuck with him. She was very forgiving. That is why this couple is there. Of course, that doesn't mean we're okay with abuse. We're in Kali Yuga 2020. Don't try to imitate Mandodari and Ravana. No one can imitate Ravana anyway. Okay. But the idea is, I told you, they show us the boundaries of the kind of relationships and what what a marital relationship looks like. Nanda and Yashoda, Draupadi and Pandava. Pandavas were sent to the forest. So much difficulty. Draupadi did not abandon them. She didn't say, I'll be in my father's house. 13 years later, come pick me up. She was there in the forest. And there she was constantly under distress. Like that they may go through difficulties. They may have, one may go this way, the other may go that way. They may have great kingdoms. They may be very poor. They may have difficulty. They may have enemies. Whatever it is. Syat Granthi Bandhanam. May these two go through their life together. That's the power of that mantra. Okay? Okay. Any questions, comments? I'm sure Ahalya's story will have questions and comments. And after this, we will enter Mithila. And we won't see Sita Devi yet. Okay? Because for the next 14 or 15 chapters is Vishwamitra's story. So not yet. Sita Darshanam not yet. Alright, go ahead. Paramatma is speaking.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Everyone should listen.
That shadow of Ahalya, that part, can you just a little bit once again elaborate? I couldn't get that completely. Sorry.
Indra tried to disturb Gautama Rishi's meditation many times, or tapasya. So he sent Urvashi, Tilottama and all of that. Ahalya did not like it. So when the opportunity that Indra came, disguised as Gautama, she being a chaste woman, sent her shadow so that Indra will fall down and will be cursed by Gautama. But there is a risk that she will also get cursed. So that is the backstory. That is the shadow. Like Maya Sita we hear. I don't want to start the Maya Sita topic again. But like that, she sent a shadow.
Okay, Prabhu. Inconceivable to me anyways, but I got it.
Thank you. If you had conceived the idea, it would be more difficult. Inconceivable is better. Leave it like that. Because sitting in Kali Yuga 2020, imagining things happening in the universal order in Satya Yuga, I think is difficult. Difficult for me. Okay, now who's next? Any questions here?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
From enthusiastic Hare Krishna, you went very tired Hare Krishna. You're also performing austerity for 990 years. Who is it?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Hare Krishna.
It's Naveen Krishna Prabhu.
Hare, we heard you Hare Krishna. How many? 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. Go on.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I don't have question. Sridhar Prabhu has question.
Naveen Krishna Das.
Hare Krishna.
Alright.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam. Sridhar.
Very good. Yes, yes. Ask your question.
Prabhu, I'm just
Okay, I cannot hear you. Someone else has a question?
I have one. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hold on, Gopal. Let the others. Prabhu, Govardhan has something to say, but he can go after the other child.
Okay, Radha, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Radha.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Radha.
Wait, my question is that why didn't Ram accept Sita when Gautam accept Ahalya after contamination?
Why did Ramachandra not accept Sita?
Like he accepted
Where
it,
does
but
it
like
say it
in the Ayodhya, when the subject said that he has to send away Sita.
So you refer to our very first lecture. Go back and hear the very first lecture. We spent 20 minutes narrating why Lord Ramachandra sent Sita to the forest. Okay? There's a whole description of it. And it is not because some washerman or somebody said something. That was the external circumstance. But let's pause for a moment and understand, how can Ramachandra and Sita Devi ever be separate? It's the Supreme Lord and his consort. And how can Lord Ramachandra ever have doubts or anything about his consort? As a king is a different issue, as what he is doing. So we have to learn that there are multiple levels of reality parallelly working. Okay? And Lord Ramachandra is a hopeless romantic, as hard as it is to believe. He's a hopeless romantic. And part of that love, experience of love, is love in separation. And unless, our whole philosophy is built on love in separation. The gopis feeling separation, Krishna feeling separation from all of his relatives and friends and gopis. So Ramachandra is also experiencing love in separation. So the internal reason is love in separation. External reasons manifest this way and that way. And then we also talked about another reason. It was Sita Devi's desire that her children should grow up in the forest. Just the way she had a wonderful time in the forest with Lord Ramachandra. No worries, no issues. So he fulfilled that desire also. When we do one thing, we don't accomplish anything. Lord Ramachandra can do 20 things by just one act, or hundreds of things by one act. Multiple things can be accomplished. So that is it was her wish. He sent her as a king, showing what a king should do, as the Supreme Lord wanting to enhance his love in separation, fulfilling Sita's desire, wanting the Lava and Kusha should grow in Valmiki's ashram, so they will learn the Ramayana and sing it. So there are so many reasons that are hidden in one act of sending her.
Hare Krishna.
I think there's not.
Somewhere after Ravana was killed, when Mandodari was coming, it was, I think I don't know who said it, but like, when Mandodari's shadow came, Ram stick back so the shadow won't touch her.
Touch him.
So
Correct.
so what is the difference? Why is like? So I'm not understand what's going on here and there.
A shadow is powerful.
Yeah, shadow's powerful or something.
Okay. The shadow of Mandodari is different from the shadow of Ahalya. Shadow of Ahalya means a Maya Ahalya. It's not a black shadow. It's actually a mystical, like we say, Chaya Devi. Okay? She's a reflection. That is the Ahalya that went towards Indra. So we say shadow, not exactly literally shadow. In Mandodari's case, it's literally a shadow. Think of it this way. Although I personally am not too into this Maya Sita idea, because it sort of does not fit well with Valmiki's Ramayana. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to appease the Brahmana who was crying, who could not eat, who could not do anything in his day because of sadness that Sita Devi was abducted, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought him a reference that how can Ravana touch Sita Devi? So it must be Maya Sita. Okay. So in the Yatra, I was asked, how can it be Maya Sita? And in the discussion with Maharaj, one of the discussions that came up, I think I later shared, that think of it this way. When we say Maya Sita, we think there is another Sita. But think of it this way. We have a deity of Kishore Kishori, or a deity of Jagannath, whoever in our home. Is the deity transcendental? Absolutely. So if you have a vision of bhakti, then the deity interacts with you as the Supreme Personality. If you have a materialistic vision, then it is only a statue made of stone or wood or metal. Right? So it's just like that. So if I approach the deity with a materialistic vision, all I come in contact is with Maya Sita. If I come and approach the deity with bhakti, that is Sita Devi. So Ravana, because of materialistic conception, was only contacting Maya Sita. Think of it that way. It helps me a lot to think that way. So the shadow and shadow are not the same. I use the word shadow because that's what the Acharya said, shadow, but not literally shadow. Okay, Govardhan?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You're singing and asking a question. Go ahead.
We hear
Your phone connection is not well.
So many.
I heard Indra so many.
We have the.
Sridhar Anand Prabhu, suggest you can type your question in the chat box, and that way we can read, because your voice is not clear at all.
Hare Krishna, it's coming, Prabhu. No.
I cannot hear you.
Oh.
You're speaking from heavenly realms. I'm sitting in Patal Loka.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
This is Kirti here saying.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
In Madhurya Rasa, it is said that, in any Rasa, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is the enjoyer, he is the Purusha. But in the turning of ocean, it appears as if Lord Shiva, when he is bewildered by Mohini Murti, he is the Purusha. Is this right? So?
Lord Shiva doesn't have an identity crisis. He knows he's not the Purusha. But the appreciation of Mohini pastime is not that Shiva got attracted. The appreciation is how beautiful is the Supreme Lord that even Lord Shiva can be attracted, who's supposed to be Dhira. And Lord Shiva being attracted to the Supreme is not a problem. No, we all want to be attracted by. Our problem is, however beautiful the Lord is, we are not attracted. That is our problem. Shiva's issue is he was very attracted to the Mohini form. There's nothing wrong in that. It is from a transcendental perspective, he's attracted to the Supreme. Great. Externally, we can appreciate the beauty of Mohini such that even Lord Shiva, whose wife himself, Parvati Devi, is unparalleled beauty, but Mohini's beauty was so amazing. I don't think Lord Shiva has a Purusha issue there.
So Prabhuji, he's Lord Shiva is attracted to only Mohini Devi, right? Nobody else. Even Parvati Devi also is not attracted. Like in that pastime that you explained. Yes.
It's not like he's not attracted. He is very attracted to his wife. She always sits
No, I
on
mean,
his lap. But he's not a victim to lust. Is it wrong for a husband to be attracted to the wife? I don't think so.
I mean,
Is it wrong for a wife to be attracted to the husband? I don't think so. But our sense of attraction is, how we understand it and say it is different. Their relationship is very, 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 very strong and of great love for each other, but not driven by lust or not on the platform of lust.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Marriage doesn't mean no attraction for each other. Then why we married? If only you're attracted, then you're staying with each other. Otherwise, why? There is something there. Any others?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Sarvabhauma Das.
Who?
Sarvabhauma Das.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, boss.
Haribol. Prabhuji, question is regarding the Maruts. As per Bhagavatam, we hear about 49 Maruts. Here
Correct.
it is 7. So can you just help in reconciling?
Seven categories of Maruts that are 49 in total. There is no contradiction. 7 categories of Maruts.
Okay.
Just as we hear in the Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna saying that the entire material universe is made of 8 material elements. In Sankhya Yoga, you hear 24. It's not that the numbers are wrong. They're both the same, just the categorization is different. Sometimes we hear 3 universe, that the universe has 3 parts. But we also hear the universe has 14 parts. So both are fine. 3 categories or 14 parts or 14 realms. So no inconsistency in that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, there is another question typed by Gaur Sundar Prabhu.
Is it in English? Because I can't read. Can someone read it? I can't see the text box.
Yes, Prabhu. Gaur Sundar Prabhu. Okay.
Why do we always associate chastity with women? Why is it not associated to men? Chastity is associated to men also. But the word of chastity in Sanskrit is a feminine quality. So in that sense, it is associated with women, but it doesn't mean that men don't have to be chaste. Okay? Men also should be very chaste. But the word itself is feminine, so it's used in relation to female, that's all. The word is sati. Okay, sat means pure or chaste. So then the men are also called satvatas, or the chaste or pure sages, satvata. Asati means unchaste or impure. All right, should we pause? Any burning questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Radha has one more burning question, looks like.
Okay.
Was Mandodari impure or pure?
Who?
Mandodari.
Very pure.
Well,
Very pure.
Then why was she associating with Ravana?
That is not a impurity. That's her greatness. That is her greatness. If her relationship of marriage was so feeble or shallow, she stayed.
So, Mandodari was pure, but then Ravana wasn't pure.
Correct. Ravana made a huge mistake. A very huge, not one, he made many mistakes. And after first mistake, nothing happened, so he did a second one, then a third one. And his arrogance grew to the point that he thought he can take away the Lord's consort also. Then he was warned, all the other mistakes, this one is too big for you to handle. Return Sita and whole account will be zero. When Lord Ramachandra reached Lanka, he sent a message, Ravana, even now if you return Sita, I will forgive you completely. I have no score to settle with you. I will quietly go away. Ravana said, forget it. Yet, despite all of that, Mandodari was very, very forgiving. A little inconceivable.
So Mandodari, what did Mandodari say to Ravana when he kidnapped Sita?
Was she chased to Ravana?
No. What did she say to Ravana when he kidnapped Sita?
It happened in their bedroom, so I don't know. But there is reference to she, after Ravana dies, she says that despite good advice, he could not hear good advice. Despite he was given by a lot of people. So what to do? He did not heed to good advice.
Oh.
Rather, you ask me all these questions after you are married. You'll have a different perspective of things. So Mandodari also gave him advice. Don't do something like this. So you find in Ramayana, Sita Devi warns Ramachandra or cautions him. You're carrying a bow and arrow. Please don't kill unnecessarily. Tara advises Vali. Don't go. Tara advises Sugriva. Go. Otherwise you'll be done. You'll be dead in a moment. Right? Mandodari advises Ravana also. But she only tells, I think it only is revealed later after Ravana's death.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Ramayana ki jai. I will send you those verses. A nice meditation on the forms of Sri Rama Lakshmana. Okay? Haribol. Leave.